So let me get this straight. Let me just try to comprehend this. The Boxing and Pro Wrestling Commission has come out and said in Louisiana, any indie star, any indie promotion who comes to that state is not allowed to do certain moves, not allowed to have any kind of blood if there was a blood match, if it was first blood, or if someone gets accidentally cut open, guess what happens? They get a fine. The company gets a fine. And they say, well, the Sports Commission trusts bigger companies like WWE and ROH, which I love those companies. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But the idea is they're claiming that, well, those guys and those gals are highly trained, but anyone who's in the indie circuit is somehow not. It's not called amateur wrestling, you dumbasses. It's called pro wrestling. All of them are highly trained and skilled. I know a lot of good people who are worried about coming to a state where some stupid commission has ruled that they can't have certain moves that every fan knows that they're capable of doing without injuring someone, but yet you're telling me and you're telling the world, no, you can't have that. I think it's high time for all indie promotions to band together and abolish them all. After all, Sports Commission, you're overpaid. You don't have to worry about the money coming in. You don't have to worry about it. Nope, you get overpaid by someone else who's just basically saying you need to make these rules up. In New Mexico, which I have a friend who wants to be a pro wrestler, she can't even train in her own state because you made a rule that pro wrestling is completely banned there. Seriously? Oh, you know why? Because there was a Falls Count Anywhere match. I don't think you ever watched pro wrestling. I don't think you care enough about it. So why, you think you're an expert? I'm not an expert at pro wrestling, but I'll tell you what. When I go to show up to a show, I expect to see people that I know doing what they love, and that's wrestling, not being told what they can and cannot do by some bigwig who has nothing more to do with it. I think it's just time for all indie. Besides that, isn't it the indie pro wrestling promotions who make the rules up and follow those rules? After all, not every indie pro wrestling show has blood in it. Not every indie pro wrestling show has hardcore matches in it. There's a reason for that. Because the thing is, as long as it's done safely, and by the way, hardcore matches can be unpredictable and people have been injured. It has happened. But the idea that you're going to make a rule up before anyone does anything and then say that's okay? Wow. I'm so disgusted by the Sports Commission right now. I'm so disgusted with it. If I was a pro wrestler and they came to my state and they said, you must pull back these, we got to make regulations against that because we don't think anyone else is highly trained. Excuse me? Most of the men and women who do this in the indie wrestling, they went to either boxing, MMA style training. They're more skilled than you think, but yet you're going to make rules and make sure that, and the fact that all indie stars, you know how much they make a year probably, or even a night? $150. While you're making millions and thousands of dollars on their pain and suffering, and yet you don't care about anything about the sport. You don't care about it. Because if you actually cared, you'd actually go to a promotion, see what they're capable of, and then say, you know what, we're not going to make rules against this promotion. Indie superstars and indie women are basically being killed, while other companies thrive and are allowed to do certain moves that basically you think should not be used in any other promotion unless they're highly trained. All my friends, all my mates, everyone I know in that world are highly trained, or else they wouldn't be in the sport. They wouldn't be there, right? They wouldn't be doing it. That's why a lot of people kind of go, maybe I don't want to be a pro wrestler because I have to follow all these stupid laws and stupid rules and stupid regulations by a sports commission who it's just like big wigs at Hollywood. They step on the little people. They step on directors who are legends. I don't like how you did that. I think it's stupid. I think you should just remove that from the film. What do you know about making movies? What do you know about pro wrestling? Nothing. You're overpaid crapheads, in my book. And you're hurting the pro wrestling world. You're just hurting it. You're just making sure that when fans sign up or pay their ticket and get a front row seat to see the best of the best, and yet they're going to have to see lamest matches ever because you ban certain moves that you think they can't do or they're not capable of. You're dumb. You're stupid and ignorant. So shut up.